Hello children, hope so you all are fit and healthy. So today in our class we are going to discuss how to frame affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences in simple present and simple past. Fine. And before that I will give you some jumble words on my screen. So you just try to arrange them to make a meaningful sentence. Fine. So here are the words. Love chocolates, period, which is also known as full stop, I. So the correct formation is I love chocolates. Good. Next. Called she me, full stop. So the answer is she called me. Does not sing well he. So the answer is he does not sing well. He does not sing well. She talk did question mark. So the answer will be did she talk question mark. Good. So children, now if you observe carefully, here we can see different kinds of sentences like here. Let us read the sentences first. Fine. I love chocolates. She called me. He does not sing well. Did she talk? Here the sentences I love chocolates and she called me are showing some positive sense. And the sentence he does not sing well is giving us a negative meaning. And the sentence did she talk is asking us a question, right? Yes. So here we can find three kinds of sentences. They are affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences. Yes, so that's what our topic is. So today we are going to learn how to frame affirmative, negative and interrogative sentences in simple present and simple past. But before that, I guess we had already read about the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs do, does and did and their usage in our previous class, right? Yes. Now let us have a quick recap of it. The auxiliary verbs do and does are used in simple present tense and the auxiliary verb do is used with plural subjects like I, you, they and we. And the auxiliary verb does is used with singular subjects he, she and it. And when we talk about did is used in simple past tense and it is used with the subjects I, you, we, it, they, she, he. Means with all the subjects we use did in the simple past tense. Fine? Yes. Now, let us know what is an affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence gives us a positive meaning. So that is the reason we even call it as a positive sentence. And then negative sentence. A negative sentence gives us the negative meaning, which means we usually find not not in these negative sentences. And when we talk about interrogative sentences, we all know that interrogative sentences ask us questions. Now, let us learn how to frame sentences in simple present tense. Now, first let us talk about affirmative sentences. And always remember, we have two structures to frame affirmative sentences in simple present tense, depending upon the subject we take. For example, if we take the plural subjects, like for example, I, we, you and they, then the structure will be subject plus verb plus object. Always remember, with plural subjects, we always take the first form of the verb. Like for example, they write a story. Let us see some more examples. I write a story, we write a story, you write a story. And when we talk about singular subjects, he, she, and it, in that case, we should add s or es or ies to the verb, and then comes the object. So the structure will be subject plus verb plus s, es or ies plus object. Let us see an example. She writes a story. And when we talk about adding es or ies to the verb, always remember if the verb ends with ch, sh, s, o, x, then we add es to the verb. And if suppose the verb is ending with a consonant followed by y, in that case we remove y and we add ies. Do you remember this? We had already studied this, right? Yes, beautiful. Now let us learn how to frame negative sentences in simple present tense. Now let us see the structures. Again, depending upon the subject, we have two structures. As we already discussed earlier, with the plural subjects we use the auxiliary verb do, and with the singular subjects he, she, it, we use the auxiliary verb does, right? And remember, in negative sentences we always add not not after the auxiliary verb. We shall understand this with the help of the structure and an example. Fine, let us read the structure first. Subject. If the subject is plural, then we are supposed to add do, not, and then comes the first form of the verb, and then comes the object. Like for example, they is always followed with the auxiliary verb do or does, do. Very good. They do not write a story. I do not write a story. You do not write a story. They do not write a story. Now, when we talk about the subjects, he, she, it, we already know that he, she, it are followed by the auxiliary verb does. Very good. Now, let us see the structure. Fine. Subject plus does, and then after does what are we supposed to add? Not not. Why? Because this is a negative sentence. Very good. Subject plus does not plus verb in the first form plus object. Let us see examples. She does not write a story. He does not write a story. It does not write a story. Clear? Now, let us talk how to frame interrogative sentences in simple present tense. Again, depending upon the subject, we have two structures. By this time, we are very clear that with plural subjects, that is I, we, you, and they, we always use the auxiliary verb do, and with the subjects he, she, it, which are singular subjects, we use does. Fine. If we are framing a positive question or positive interrogative sentence, then we have to write do. And if we are framing negative interrogative sentences, it begins with don't. Fine. Now let us see the structure of the interrogative sentences. Do or don't plus plural subject plus verb plus object. Do they write a story? And the negative interrogative sentence will be don't they write a story? Now let us talk about the singular subjects. does or doesn't plus subject plus verb plus object. Example, does she write a story? Doesn't she write a story? Clear? Now hope so you all understood the topic well. So keep practicing and keep framing more and more sentences that will help you a lot. So stay home, stay safe. We shall meet in our next class.